Share your love and creativity for baking. Bake more memories with tried and trusted Royal Baking Powder. Last time on the Tastemaster SA, the top 4 stepped into the world of fine dining as they prepared a 3-course baked menu. Moletwa came out tops, earning a Royal Baking Powder pin. But sadly for Philip, it was the end of his journey. It's the semi-final as Renuka, Moletwa and Malisha prepare for their toughest challenge in the most beautiful setting, the great outdoors.
I cannot believe I'm here in the semi-finals. It's unreal.
I'm not worried about anyone. I think I'm more focused on myself, but also my fellow contestants are really, really great. Like, they are so talented. I mean, how did we get here? Semi-finals.
I think both Moletwa and Mel are my competition. They are extremely good bakers with a lot of experience and knowledge.
Welcome, guys. Final 3. I'm sure you're wondering what we're doing all the way out here, but we thought, seeing as this is the semi-final, we're going to turn up the heat a notch. This is Dwarsberg Trout Hideaway. We're just outside of Rawsonville in the Western Cape.
This beautiful, peaceful resort is where lots of South Africans come to enjoy a very popular pastime. And I'm not talking about fishing, I'm actually talking about camping.
Oh.
Okay. Mel, are you a fan of camping?
Absolutely not.
Same, girl, same.
Yeah, I'm a glamping kind of girl, but I love nature, so this is beautiful.
Personally, I love camping, and I particularly love campfire food. So let me go show you in the masterclass, and while I get ready, you guys go and enjoy a cup of Jacob's coffee.
I really hope there's no baking on an open fire today.
I'm freaking out. I don't know how to cook on a fire. I literally can't start my day without coffee, and sitting here in this beautiful place, drinking this Jacob's coffee is the perfect moment.
Loving this whole vibe of sitting by the stream with a cup of Jacob's and waiting on Fritz to have the bread master teach us his pro tips. Can't wait.
I started baking back in 2006. I just finished varsity, worked as a junior quantity surveyor, and as a side hustle, I started setting up kiosks on construction sites. And we were moving so much bread that I decided to start a small bakery in Kempton Park. Started supplying even the airlines, but grew myself out of business, as my father warned you could, and that business failed, but the bug had bitten me. The thing that drives me with bread, and bread as a staple specifically, is that I truly feel like I'm feeding people. You know, once I came to the realization that wheat in itself, a wheat kernel, is one of the most nutrient-dense seeds on the planet, and if handled correctly, it's truly a food that fuels people. And I feel like if you fuel people, you enable them and empower them to do what they have to do well. My food philosophy is to eat as clean as possible and as close to the source as possible. Know the people that farm your food. If we can follow this food philosophy, I believe we will have a very healthy generation. For this episode, where we're going outdoors, I'm very excited because it is so challenging for me as well. It is never a sure thing. Baking on open fire is as daunting as anything. Temperature control, it's just, everything is so way off. So for me, it challenges me. I need to dig deep, I need to focus, I need to tap into my experience and my knowledge just to do the masterclass well. So, you know, it's never a perfect result, but it's also a part of the process. You know, it is a camping challenge, and with that, there's fellowship, there's the breaking of bread, another big part of why I do what I do. So, very excited. Right, guys, I'm going to prepare for you today a bread dough, shocker, all right, which I'm going to do in 2 different versions. I'm going to do a savory version, which I'm calling the breakfast bread. So I'm going to add all my ingredients into the bread so that we can serve it in 1 slice with an egg. The other version I'm going to do is a baklava-inspired bread dough. But for now, let's start with our base dough. We're going to start with a total of 500 grams of flour. I do 400 grams of white bread stone ground flour and 100 grams of wholemeal flour. Wholemeal obviously for flavor and a little bit of texture. Today I'm using instant yeast. My salt, very important. Finally, I'm going to add 60 to 70% to the flour weight in water. Also, I'm going to add ingredients that's going to contain its own moisture. So I need to take that into consideration. Just to ensure we have the kick that we need, I'm going to add just a touch of royal baking powder.
Fritz is so gentle with the dough, and it's actually so cool to see him in his element.
I've taken the time to roast cherry tomatoes, onions, a whole garlic, and I've put a little bit of thyme in there as well, and salt, olive oil, and red wine vinegar. Firstly, I'm going to squeeze out the garlic. I'm going to rub that in my dough. I'm going to get some tomatoes and onion. Just squeezing out some of that moisture, as that will affect our dough consistency quite a bit.
Fritz is using some really great ingredients that give good flavor. I know it's going to be flavor packed.
The last component that I'm going to be putting inside of my bread is my yellow pap. My pap I make 1/3 polenta and then 3 parts fluid, and that I do with water, milk, and chicken or vegetable stock. When you are camping, it is impractical to take fresh milk with you, so we use cremel and add that to the moisture, which obviously also adds a little bit of creaminess.
Fritz, would you add any seasoning to that pap?
Yes, of course. So I'll cook it for 10 minutes, remove it from the heat, and then I'll add my salt and, of course, a big dollop of butter. I'm going to use my proving basket, give it its final proof. I'm going to add some polenta to that as well. For my sweet bread, I've gone baklava inspired. So obviously my dough, the rest of my dough that's been resting, along with my nut mixture. That's almonds, pistachios, walnuts. It's kind of finely chopped, but not too fine. I still want a bit of texture in there. I've put a cup of sugar in there, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a 1/4 teaspoon of cloves. Obviously the cinnamon and the cloves is fine.
The baklava flavor profile is definitely up my alley. I really like Mediterranean food.
So I'm going to give it its next proof. This is not the final shape. I still want to give this some time to rest, flatten it out, and I'm going to cut it in strips and then give it a twisty twist. Right. The breakfast loaf is completely proofed. You can see it's maxed out. I'm going to drop it into a preheated Dutch oven to get that oven spring. I'm going to give it a light score for some of that moisture to come out. And I'm going to fill it with some onions and like a beef boerewors on the sides to really get that flavor incorporated into the bread. Now onto the fire. We're making use of these super handy cubes from Electrical Industries online. Very practical for camping. Just going to get some coals on top to get that top temperature.
I am definitely using Fritz's idea of using coals at the top and the bottom.
The hardest part of this fire challenge is actually cooking on fire. Having to control this heat as a cooking method, I'm not sure about this.
Our sweet dough has proved beautifully. Let's get it into its final shape. Once I've cut it, I'm going to give it a twist. Once I twist it, I want to see different shades of the dough. That's the final shape. Now for the final proof.
While the dessert dough proofs, it's time for Fritz to check up on the savory bread at the fire.
I'm going to remove these coals now. We're about 30 minutes into the bake. I'm going to dress the savory bake with some bacon that I've left in maple syrup with a bit of thyme, and I'm going to add some clover tusses as well.
Adding bacon and cheese to that savory bake has got my mouth watering because I love a good breakfast.
Fritz using rocks to create oxygen through the Dutch oven is such a cool idea. I've never thought of anything like that.
Over to our baklava-inspired bread. And as you'll see, look at that beautiful final proof. So that looks great. Now, as you know, a bread dough is not enriched. So I'm going to fake it a little bit by adding a few pieces of butter. One of the challenges we have with baking on open fire is that you don't really get any direct heat from the top. So what we're trying to create is some type of texture. That's why I'm going to add some more of the nuts and the sugar on top to see if we can get a crust out of that, just for the eating experience. Slightly lower temperature because there is sugar and butter involved.
Fritz's baklava-inspired bread is inspired. It's almost like a cinnamon roll that's baked on a fire.
I've made a quick syrup. I'm going to drench that now over the already moist bake.
Oh, nice. That's beautiful.
It did take away all that moisture.
It did.
Fritz is pouring the syrup into the sweet bake. I can smell it. It's got spice, it's got sugar, it's buttery. I can't wait to taste this.
Right, that's the final 5 minutes. We're just going to wait for that syrup to be pulled in, and we'll serve that up with some Clover double thick yogurt.
That sounds amazing.
Baking on an open fire is definitely challenging because you really have to manage the heat. And that's my biggest worry, given the fact that I haven't actually fried on open fire before. So I'm really nervous about that.
Oh, that looks so good.
Lovely.
This looks delicious.
Smells delicious.
Come and have a taste.
Cool.
Now, the purpose of this breakfast bread is obviously to try and serve a meal in one loaf. Basic breakfast components that we enjoy whilst camping.
Wow, that savory bread. Amazing. Texture, great. Flavor, hits all the notes of sweet, salty. Love it.
The breakfast roll is so delicious with that fried egg and a little bit of chili oil. Delicious.
The sweet bread tastes so good. The textures are so prominent, and I would have thought that putting on the syrup would have made it sweet, but it's actually very balanced.
Right, guys, I hope you enjoyed it.
Ah, so
We did.
good.
Thank you so much.
Okay, let's get ready for the challenge.
Next up, the contestants learn that baking on a campfire is even harder than they imagined. Clover Cremel. Stir in a smile to your favorite dishes. Made with love by Clover.
Right, guys, this is it. There is one more bake between you and the grand finale. And of course, the grand prize of 150,000 Rand in cash, courtesy of Capitec Business to further your career, because better never rests.
Yeah.
That's right. Getting that 150,000 Rand will definitely make my business better, because what? Better never rests.
Along with the money, the winner will also receive 100,000 Rand to spend with Samsung, 100,000 Rands worth of KitchenAid equipment, and a blast chiller from Electrical Industries Online with 65,000 Rand. For this challenge, you will have 3 hours to complete the ultimate campfire meal, including a dessert. We want you guys to go all out. We want to see abundance. There needs to be a baked component in both your main offering as well as your dessert using royal baking powder.
Because we are outdoors in this beautiful campsite, you will of course have limited availability of equipment. So, no fridges and no ovens. However, you will be able to use some open fire, you have a gas plate, as well as full use of the pantry.
It is 2024 after all, and even camping is leveled up. So each of you can also use a Cube 360 portable braai.
Muli, as holder of the Royal Baking Powder pin, of course, you have an advantage in this challenge. Would you like to know what your advantage is?
Yeah.
You will also have full use of the Samsung microwave. How lucky are you in the campsite?
In the campsite. Yeah, thank you. So to take this pin, I will gladly accept this advantage.
And seeing as this is the final elimination challenge, there is no pin to play for. However, the winner of today's challenge will walk away with a brand new 328-litre Samsung bespoke panel-ready fridge and freezer.
That is actually very cool.
As well as a brand new Cube 360 portable braai with a 3-piece tool set from Electrical Industries Online.
Are you ready to make big things happen and get baking?
Yes.
Right, your time starts in
3, 2, 1, get baking.
Good luck, guys.
The timer has just started and I'm actually really disoriented. I'm so used to being in the Tastemaster kitchen that being outside, first of all, not my comfort zone, and now I have to figure out how to use everything.
For this bake today, I've taken inspiration from our family get-togethers when we are outdoors or at a picnic. We love food. It's the center of every celebration, and that's where I've taken my inspiration from.
I'm going to bring my roots, my Indian roots. I've been steering away from it. I just feel like I have another Indian counterpart in my presence, and she brings a lot of Indian and good Indian flavors, and I just didn't want to be constantly measured up against her. I think today I'm confident in the flavors I'm bringing, and I think I'm ready for that fire challenge. I think the Indian spices are going to work so well today. For my ultimate campfire meal, I'm going to create a board with 2 types of skewers, a tandoori chicken one and a lamb. On my board, I'm also going to be serving a butter chicken sauce and a coconut curry sauce. For my dessert, I'm going with a classic gulab jamun and a saffron and cardamom custard. The first thing I need to get on is my naan. It has yeast in it and it needs to rise.
Today I am making some pepper and garlic lamb chops. I am also making some tahini and yogurt sauce with some tabbouleh salad and some flatbread. And for dessert, I am making a mellow macarona inspired orange cake.
Okay, talk us through what you're baking.
I'm baking a pineapple cake with a custard, serving that with a custard.
Okay, upside down pineapple cake?
I'm not calling it an upside down cake, I'm just calling it a pineapple cake because I need to see what happens underneath. I've got a plan of action already.
All right.
Nice.
It's a pineapple cake.
Okay, fair.
yes.
And
Good.
you're pickling over there, hey?
Yes, the red onions.
Which are going into what?
It's the side for the chicken tikka skewers. So you're going to build your own roti. So there's going to be roti, skewers, pickled red onion, a yogurt dressing, and some crispy fried potatoes. So it's a take on a chicken and tikka, but not the normal way you would just get a quarter chicken tikka and some chips.
Okay, you're doing skewers instead.
Yes, and then you build it up.
Okay,
Okay, so part of your main is obviously then your roti.
Yes,
Okay.
the roti with the royal baking powder.
Zola, so I mean, the fires are going.
Yep.
This is a very tough challenge.
It's tough because it's your challenge. My nerves would be really up there if I was baking something on fire for the Fritz Schoon.
I wouldn't say that.
I definitely say that.
No, and I have to be honest, with the masterclass, I was also nervous because it's not so much about your baking technique. It's about understanding heat.
Right, and controlling it, right?
And controlling heat. And you know, we've got this factor of this very aggressive fire or heat from the bottom, direct heat from the bottom, and top heat is actually maintenance. It's not like you can get added heat from the top because heat goes up.
Yeah.
So you get your cast iron pot or whatever they're going to bake in, it's going to maintain some heat, but it's to understand that your heat distribution is not going to be even.
Wow.
And that's super tough.
For my mellow macarona cake, I'm slicing some oranges very thinly and putting them on the braai. I think it's really important to get a really charred taste on my oranges just to add that campfire feel. My oranges are done. I put them in my pan and I also put some honey in the bottom. So I am doing my cake, my mellow macarona cake. So I'm adding some raw baking powder in it because what's a cake without raw baking powder?
I decided to use the bigger braai because the heat is much stronger, just to grill the pineapples a little because I don't want too much of liquid in the cake because then it's going to bubble. I add the pineapple rings into my cast iron pot and I make a syrup with butter, sugar, cinnamon powder, and I pour it over the top of the pineapples. I am using the amasi in my pineapple cake. Just as people use buttermilk, I love using amasi because it gives that softness and the acidity that I need in the cake. Seeing Fritz bake bread and making a sweet and savory dish in the masterclass really gave me the confidence to actually bake a cake today. I put a timer on and I leave the cake for 30 minutes, hoping that the underneath is not burning and the top is not cooking.
How's it, Muli?
Hi.
Muli, so your advantage today, being able to use the Samsung microwave oven. Any plans for that?
I think it's a great advantage because I was really worried about baking a cake on a braai.
And now, obviously, with that going in the Samsung microwave oven, you don't have any threat of burn or...
Yeah, but I wanted a bit of char, so I did.
Which is nice, actually.
Absolutely.
Which is lovely and great for the
Super
setting,
clever.
so that's interesting.
And how's your braaiing skills?
Oh, no, don't. Because fried lamb chops are a personal fave.
Yeah, no, I love lamb chops. I'm actually looking forward to frying. Doing new things is very, very exciting, so this is definitely the time to do it.
Love that.
I am currently adding more charcoal and wood to my fire. I feel like it's a bit on the cooler side, and I need it to be hot because it is a fire challenge after all.
Contestants, 1 hour down, 2 hours remaining. Let's go for it.
Let's go, guys.
I am marinating the chicken cubes with spices, lemon juice, some chili powder, as well as some yogurt. I want the spices to infuse into the chicken cubes. I have new respect for the Taste Master kitchen because I'm really missing it now. You know, just trying to use basic ingredients. I've dropped 2 potatoes on the floor because now I couldn't find the strainer. Because in the Taste Master kitchen, you know exactly where everything is. So, yeah, but I'm getting there. I'm gonna do my best.
So I have just put my cake into my Samsung microwave. Samsung microwave is saving so much time for me. So I definitely think this is a huge, huge advantage, and I suppose everyone else would probably want it too.
You too can make big things happen by participating in this week's viewer competition.
Show us your interpretation of this week's challenge by creating the perfect campfire bake using royal baking powder. Upload it onto socials by replying to the competition post and using the hashtag #TasteMasterSA and hashtag #BakeMoreMemories. You could win a KitchenAid stand mixer of your very own, plus R1,000 in cash from Capitec, because better never rests.
Happy baking!
Congratulations to the winner of our episode 10 viewer competition, Carmelita dos Ramos, who took on the Baked Illusion challenge with a Chinese takeaway noodle cake that took her 2 days to complete. Who will influence the nation with their creative bakes? Bake more memories with tried and trusted royal baking powder.
I'm actually loving this vibe of being outdoors and having less equipment. It's stretching me today, and I am trying to come up with strategies and concepts at work. And it's part of what I like doing. I like coming up with new ideas, and this is really putting me in that zone. Now I need to get onto the marination of the chicken thighs for my skewers. I'm adding some spices and clover yogurt. I check for seasoning, and it's looking good.
My chicken is well rested, the spices have infused. I now take the pieces and I add it onto metal skewers. This then goes onto the open fire, and I'm very careful not to overcook the chicken skewers.
I'm now working on my lamb mince sheikh kebab mixture. I take some lamb mince, I add some diced red onions, some chili, some ginger garlic paste, and some spices. I'm going to add some egg to it and mix this so that it combines well.
For my flatbread, I put in equal parts of self-raising flour and clover Greek-style yogurt. Nothing scientific about this. Bread comes past while I put my flatbread on the braai. And I'm really nervous because he's the bread guy, so this is definitely his field of expertise.
You didn't just want to do one as a sample and then figure it out.
I'm currently rolling my gulab jamun mixture. I'm adding a bit of a different take on it by adding some pistachios inside as a little surprise element. And yeah, so just making sure that it's there and that it's nice and smooth so that when it gets into the oil, it cooks really nice and evenly.
Contestants, this is your 2-hour time call. You now have 1 hour left to bake/braai.
Lekker, guys. It's looking great. Hello, Renuka.
Hi.
Okay,
Hello.
chopping cooked potatoes.
Yes,
For potato salad of braai.
if only. Yes, no, it's a aloo fry, so it's going to be like a crispy potato with some spices in it, but not something that's going to blow your head off. Yeah. So remember, with the chicken tikka, you get a side of fries. So I wanted to just spice them up and do like crispy potatoes instead.
I'm taking my flatbread off of the braai and it looks amazing. I'm setting it aside so that I can get on my other ingredients. The reason for my choice of cuisine is at home, this is actually the food that we eat. My dad is vegetarian, so Middle Eastern, Mediterranean has a lot of foods that he can eat that's also substantial. So your chickpeas, your lentils, things like that. So that's definitely why I went with this cuisine. Also just really love it. I think it's great. It's fresh.
I get some clover ghee into a saucepan and heat it up really hot. I throw the gulab jamun into the ghee and I'm turning them consistently to make sure that they do not burn and brown evenly. Gulab jamun is ready and beautifully golden brown. It goes into the hot syrup to steep, and this is going to be a good amount of time to get a nice soak on the outside of the gulab jamun.
After 30 minutes, my heart is beating. I don't know what's going on inside this pot. I remove the coals, I open the lid. There seems to be something happening, but I need more heat so that it bakes quicker, and then I set the timer for 15 minutes.
Is everything going according to plan? It seems like a very calm situation here. Are the lamb chops marinated? What's the situation?
So my lamb chops are marinating, and this is the butter that goes with it. I put my lamb chops on the big braai and render down the fat, and then from there I move it and fry the other sides of it. My lamb is cooked, and I'm putting it to rest because it's a very important factor when it comes to braaiing meat.
Cooking on the coals was good. I think the nice thing about coals is that you get extra flavor, and I'm hoping that permeated especially through the skewers of the meal because that's where I put it directly onto that grid, and I could see, you know, that smoke get in. I like the idea that it was a different source of heat, and now I've now conquered my fear of cooking on fire and shall do more of it.
Contestants, this is your 10-minute call. You have 10 minutes left to go. Let's finish up. Yay.
Let's go, guys. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
I am taking out my cake, and I think this Samsung microwave has literally saved me so much time. It looks great. That is a very, very good sign. I'm so excited, actually. I'm actually so amped about this. I'm checking out my cake, and it looks so good. It looks absolutely perfect. My cake is looking a little bit plain, so I want to garnish it. I slice up some oranges, twist it and put it on there with some chopped walnuts.
I'm currently working on just getting my prep done for the butter chicken sauce and the lamb sauce. I want this really bad. I've always known that I'm going to challenge myself, that I'm going to do a lot, and that could send me home.
After 15 minutes, I open the lid. It's risen, it's fluffy, and I am excited that I actually got to bake a cake on the fire. I'm very relieved. It's spongy. Yeah, it's pulling away from the sides, which means that it's baked.
The naan dough is soft. I get it out of the bowl and I divide it into 4 portions, roll it into a teardrop shape. And in the meantime, I need to get this cast iron pot really hot so that I can get this naan cooked.
I am starting to panic a little. I still want to roll out my rotis.
What's the texture that you're going for? Is it?
I'm going for a super soft texture. So if I was doing paratha, then it would be a little more crunchy. But because I've got crunch in the potatoes and the onion, so I want to have a soft roti.
Yeah, and I think with the rest of the offering also it makes sense.
It does.
To be able to wrap it in.
Yes, if I went crispy, it might just break apart if you try to do a wrap.
Right, contestants, 1 more minute to go. Let's plate up.
Right, guys, last moments. Let's go.
I'm freaking out. I don't want to get frazzled, but I really need to finish, and I don't know if I can. I'm still chopping things for the salad. I don't know, there's what's all over the place. I'm literally freaking out.
I need to get this on the board. I want it to look really great. I grab a huge wooden board. I add brass bowls for the look. I get those chicken skewers and my sheikh kebab skewers on. I get my raita and the sambals on the board, and it's looking great.
I want to play it very rustic because that's how I planned my dish. So the rotis are going on, the skewers are going directly onto the serving board, together with the pickled onions, the whipped feta, and the roast potatoes.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Step away, guys.
Step away from your fires and your braais. Well done, well done,
Well done, everyone. Awesome. That looks great.
That was really intense, really, really intense. But I am super proud that I baked a cake on the coals. So yeah, let's see how it tastes. It looks spongy, it looks airy. The rest of my plate is exactly how we would enjoy an abundant meal whilst we are camping, and I'm very excited.
The last hour I started having to push my pace majorly, and yeah, but it's done and the board is complete. Everything I wanted is here. I am relieved and just very much in awe of the fact that I just did this all on fire and with very little equipment.
I'm so proud of what I've made today. I didn't think I was going to get everything on the plate, to be honest, just because I didn't have a clear station, so I didn't have a clear mind. But I'm so proud of myself, and yeah, this is definitely semi-finals worthy. Yo, Fritz, what did you put us through? This challenge was a knife in Afrikaans, a mess.
Next up, contestants go from the warmth of the fire to the heat of the judging table. Save your business from becoming a mess by winning 50,000 Rand from the Tastemaster SA and Capitec Business. Reply to the competition post on the Tastemaster SA social media pages with a video sharing your small business story and how you'll use this Capitec boost to further the growth of your business. Use hashtag #BetterNeverRests and hashtag the Tastemaster SA with your entry, and tag at Capitec Bank and at Tastemaster SA if entering on Instagram. You can also enter by WhatsApping your video to 065 672 7127. Entries close Sunday, 28 July. T's and C's apply.
Do it like this. Do it like, get it, move it, own it. Do it like this.
Bespoke.
Another, I think, successful bake, even despite the many challenges today.
Yeah.
Outdoors, fire, regulating temperature. I think they can definitely be proud of themselves for what they produced.
Absolutely, absolutely, I agree with you. It just feels like they're delivering to their full potential. And that makes me quite nervous for this tasting because it's going to be so hard.
It's going to be down to the most intricate, finite details to sort of distinguish them apart.
Yep.
So, you know, we always say this, when it's difficult for us, it's a good day for the bakers. So I'm ready to get my campfire food on.
This challenge showed me flames. It's crazy, and I don't know if everything is perfectly cooked, so I'm nervous.
Hi, Mel.
Hi.
You seem to have a great baking campfire day today. It seemed like everything went according to plan. Is there anything that you perhaps missed that you wanted to include here?
Everything that I planned is on. The tweel, I was like, oh, I don't know, but managed to get that done. And yeah, just hoping everything is cooked properly and that the flavors are there. Going through each challenge week by week, I've realized that the judges have a flavor profile, they have a sense of heat, and I am playing towards that.
Mel, we asked for generosity and we asked for flavor, and you definitely delivered on both counts. That bread is lovely and chewy. You cooked it so beautifully. I love the chard. My personal favorite combination is the butter chicken sauce with the tandoori chicken. Just delicious, not overcooked. The same can be said for your lamb kebab as well. I think everything in terms of flavor and execution, you did a wonderful job. The gulab jamun as well, what a beautiful dish. The flavors are really complex. The cardamom is just warm and just enough, because you know it can be too much. The crunch of the pistachio is perfect. I think that you did a wonderful job.
I thought your challenge there was going to be the naan in getting that same texture as what we've come to know and love, and you got it. And I actually preferred the lamb. You really have such an in-depth understanding of flavor. It's so complex, layered, and delicious. I did have a small piece of raw chicken in the middle of my one skewer.
No. No, I don't know what could be worse than raw chicken for sure. So I don't know how I feel about this.
So Fritz, you say the worst skewer is a dry skewer.
Dry skewer.
Is it worse than a raw skewer?
No, it's not.
That is unfortunate. I mean, I'm glad it wasn't on my plate.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's an unfortunate mistake because everything else is so beautifully cooked. Even the kebabs, they're slightly pink in the middle, so lovely and moist. But I don't know, hey? Raw chicken at this stage.
No, it's a tough one. I'm going to assume that everything went according to plan.
Yes.
If you were to leave today,
Yes.
how would you feel about what you've produced and your time in the competition so far?
I'm just grateful for this opportunity. I actually didn't think that I would make it to the top 3 because of my lack of skills and experience as a home baker. But I'm so proud of what I've done today, and for every other bake, I try to put my heart into it. So if I go home today, I go with a grateful heart, humbled by this experience, and I wish the other contestants well.
Well, that's beautifully said, even though I must disagree with you about the lack of skills, because you're in the top 3. So you clearly have a skill set that's gotten you this far. So that's worth celebrating.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. It's always such a tense moment. You never know how you stand, and I'm really worried about what I've cooked today in terms of, is it fully cooked? But let's keep our fingers crossed.
That is insane. That is like a delicate cloud, pineapple flavored cloud. It is so amazing.
Thank you.
Great choice for the dessert bake on fire.
So for me, I pride myself in the delusion that I have a poker face. And when I took a bite of your upside down fried pineapple cake, I lost it because it was that good. You couldn't have baked it in an oven any better than you baked it on the fire. What a wow. That cake and the custard in combination, really, really delicious.
What a compliment. I am elated. Thank you, Zola.
For me, I thought the flavors were delicious. I think that the feta could have been cut with a little bit of cream cheese because it is very, very salty, especially if you have a large amount of it. But in terms of flavor of the chicken, wonderful. The onions, that acidity that it brought to the entire thing, also really lovely.
This roti is flawless. Your flavors in all these components are just so on point. And the unity which all of these components offer is excellent. You see that I opened your chicken there? You had an undercooked piece of chicken?
Yes.
Which is so unfortunate because, my word, it is well spiced.
Altogether, a really wonderful effort.
Thank you. I really tried to bring my best today, and I know that this could send me home.
Shame to see that twice already.
Yeah, and once again, I'm glad it happened on your plate and not mine.
I gave it my all, and I cooked the way I cook at home, so I'm really proud of what I put out.
I'm glad to see that the big smile is back because you're clearly very proud of what you produced today. How did you find today's bake?
Today's bake was really hard. I was so worried about the fire. It was very intimidating, but I actually had fun in the end, which is really great. I definitely think that the judges are really going to focus on the way my meat has been cooked and also the flatbread. Fritz is the bread guy, so he's definitely going to focus on that.
Muli, I think that your offering was really beautiful. That butter, so good with the flatbread. Love the texture of the flatbread. It's the perfect combination of crunchy and chewy at the same time. I asked for my lamb medium rare, and that's what I got. So bravo.
Whew. I'm so glad Zola gets exactly the piece she wants.
Chickpeas, wonderful. I think that your tabbouleh needed more lemon. Yeah, it needed more zing to it. Your cake, I'm so glad that you said it's a cross between a pudding and a cake because there are parts of it, especially in the center, that are very moist. So it's like borderline. But if you call it a pudding, acceptable. I love the way the orange is baked on there, the rind and the bitterness contrasting with the caramel and the sweetness of it. And good call on the creme fraiche because it does need that little bit of freshness at the end. So yeah, well done.
Great job. It's a good balance, nice freshness, and I think you've got a beautiful array of texture and flavors here. It's really a good bake. From a technical perspective, your flatbread is perfect. Meat's great. This butter, excellent idea. I think it goes with the meat excellently, and the fact that your flatbread's not overly flavored, it's well seasoned. The salad for me is just a little bit underwhelming. Yeah.
Thank you, Muli.
Thank you, Muli.
I am so disappointed at this judgment with the salad. I thought everything worked.
When everything else is so amazing, the thing that's just okay becomes even more jarring.
It stands out.
Yeah, yeah. And literally, good squeeze of lemon, an extra pinch of salt, and that would have taken it there. But yeah, I mean, great display of skill, good use of her advantage, absolutely. She nailed that cake. She did a good job. They all did a good job.
They did a great job.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be like this.
Yeah.
Very hard decision-making time.
Yeah. We're going to have to go through every single item individually to actually find somebody who has to go home because it's tight.
Yeah.
It's a tight race.
Up next, it's the final elimination of the season. Who will make it through to the grand finale?
Better never rests. So be the star to take your baking to the next level with Capitec.
Who will influence the nation with their creative bakes? Bake more memories with tried and trusted Royal Baking Powder. It's been a long journey for Renuka, Moletwa and Melisha, but this is it, the final elimination before the grand finale.
Congratulations to all of you for completing yet another very difficult challenge.
To do something that is so unfamiliar and then do so well, that's just next level. So well done to you guys, very proud.
Right, on to today's verdict. 2 of you had raw chicken today. That is an offense that we do not find excusable, especially this late in the competition. So Renuka and Mel, both of you are up for elimination today. That means Muli, congratulations.
Congratulations, Mul.
You are today's winning baker.
Well done. I am so relieved. The judges calling my name. I'm speechless. I don't even know what's happening. I'm flabbergasted.
Now, as you know, there's no pin to play for, but you are walking away here today with a brand new 328-litre Samsung bespoke panel-ready fridge and freezer, as well as a Cube 360 with a 3-piece tool set. Well
That's
done.
amazing. Thank you, guys.
Well
Thank you so much.
done.
Thank you.
I knew that I was going to be going up against Mel at some point, but I didn't know it's going to be down to the wire.
Crossing fingers and holding thumbs that I stay.
So for the 2 of you, this was very unfortunate. And normally people get eliminated just on that. But now there are 2 of you. So we really had to dig deep and dissect the rest of your dishes. But we had to put our primary focus on your bakes, as this is a baking show. Both of you again, flatbreads, textbook. Roti, naan, no fault. But I have to say, Renuka, your cake blew us away. To do that on open fire is just absolutely ridiculous. It was the bake of the day. It was excellent, so well done. Mel, with that, you are being eliminated from the Tastemaster Kitchen at this late stage, and you are just absolutely amazing.
Thank you. Getting the verdict that I'm going home today is, I mean, it's disappointing, obviously. I came here to actually push till the end, and I am disappointed, but it is what it is. And yeah, I'm just grateful for the experience, but disappointed that I couldn't go all the way.
You have showcased your skill set, your passion. You're going to go so far.
Thank you.
Thank you
so
for
much.
everything.
I think I've had such a high level of a support system. Firstly, my family, sure. I am very grateful for them. My work, the College of Cape Town, for releasing me in this time period to be able to do this. And yeah, just growing and learning so much from this process. To, yeah, my day ones, my word. Like, I'm so proud of both of you. I'm so excited for you for this journey, and you guys deserve this majorly. I'm so proud. And yeah, that's all. Like, thank you to the judges, and yeah, thank you for teaching and learn so much from this process.
Thank you so much for everything you've brought to our kitchen, to the entire competition. Please say your final goodbyes and hand over your apron.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Good luck.
Rock this, please. That's all I'm asking.
I'm really disappointed that Mel is going home. We both hit it off from the start. She's such an amazing baker, so technical, and it breaks my heart, really.
To my Zozo, I just hope that you can see your mom do this, and that it inspires you, and that you know who you came from and that this inspires you for your lifetime. Back yourself, have the confidence, and yeah, just do you.
Clap her out, guys. Right, that's the sad part, but the good news is you guys are in the final of the Taste Master SA Season 5! Woo!
I am known as the flavor queen in this competition, so I'm bringing all the flavor for the final challenge.
Being one step closer to 150,000 Rand is unimaginable. I literally cannot fathom how close we are. We are this close.
Next week, Moletwa and Renuka put it all on the line in the grand finale. One final challenge, one winner, who will be crowned the Taste Master. From our family to yours, the Taste Master SA, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.